What's up YouTube, Johnny here from Some Wonders, and today I will be showing you my competitive Fluffal deck profile. Now, I'll be showing you my extra deck with a complete side deck, 15 cards, but it's not completely fleshed out, but it was quickly made. I had like 2 days to make it for a local tournament, but yeah. So I'll be showing you my competitive Fluffal deck profile. Let's get right into it. So I'm running the standard 3 dogs, Stratos to the deck, searches all Fluffals and Imp Sabre. And yeah, if you're not running 3, I don't know what the heck you're doing. So we're also running 3 wings because we are actually running a decent amount of spells and traps, so you will definitely want to dig through this deck as fast as you could. And to go and balance out the 3 wings, you are also running 2 Fluffal Bears to go and search for your vendors. So you could quickly go into the ditch Fluffal Bear, get vendor to hand, activate vendor, mill wings, and then you could go and immediately banish and draw 3. Or draw 2, search for the 3rd. Assuming that you don't draw into assuming you don't special summon a dog or owl or something and go +4. So yeah, you could do a lot of crazy shenanigans with this deck. So yeah, we're also running 2 owls because reason why 2 and not 1, because owls actually searches for poly and you want to go into poly since this is a fusion based deck. You want to quickly fuse into your monsters. We are also running 2 Fluffal Sheep, so you could recycle your bears and owls and also bring back your chains and sabers to go and use chains effect again, or go into a tiger, go into some shenanigans with that, pop the opponent's scales and whatnot. We are also running 2 sabers. Why not 3? 3 would be too cloggy. Standard 2. I feel as though 2 is a good amount. A lot of people run 2 because just in case you banish it for a Frightfur Fusion, you have another one and whatnot. So yeah, I feel as though this 2 is a good amount. We are also running 2 Edge Imp Chains. Why not 3? Because you could go and recycle him with Sheep and whatnot. Sheep could go and definitely where is he? Oh yeah, one underneath that. Ha! Sheep could actually recycle Chain, so you could go and do you could use Chain's effect again and whatnot. Chain could search for another chain. So yeah, there's a lot of searchability with this deck. And we are running 1 swamp. Why 1 swamp? Because he could go and substitute for Leo, and also just in case he's basically an emergency monster, just in case you don't have any polys in hand or something, and you don't draw into a saber. Because there are times where you go and there are times where you either have like a lot of edge imps and no fluffals, or you have a lot of fluffals and no edge imps. So yeah, he's a card that could go and like an emergency card, so to speak. I don't run 3 because I don't believe 3 is actually necessary. And yeah, so that is the monster count. I believe that is about 18 monsters. I could be wrong. I could be 1 or 2 off. I don't know. So yeah, don't quote me on 18. So yeah, we are also running 3 vendors, standard 3. I used to hate this card, but now this card is actually good. Thanks to Wings. And yeah, so we're running 2 polys. Reason why 2 and not 3 is because you could go and recycle poly. If you go and spend all your vendors and you end up drawing into a bear, bear could actually bring back a poly by tributing himself. Not many people use that effect because they tend to go and ditch him, banish him with Wings. But yeah, he's able to be searched with reserve, by the way, fusion reserve. And yeah, so I believe 2 is a good amount, just in case, Because also, Factory could go and act as a poly as well. Keep that in mind. So yeah, 2 polys. I also run 2 fusions because fusion is an amazing card, but you do not want to run 3 because 3 is too cloggy in my opinion, and you already banish a lot with Wings. So I don't know if you have. I don't know. I don't really necessarily need 3 because whenever I fuse for 2. You end up already having a lead in the game at that point. And yeah, you have your 3rd one when you pop it, or when Factory gets popped by let it be by your own MST or your own Tiger or something. So yeah, there's your 3rd one. So yeah, we're also running 2 MSTs. Reason why MST is because there are those decks that are anti-pendulum based. So if you run like Wavering Eyes or something in your main deck, then it's pretty useless because you don't necessarily run scales or anything. So that's why I feel as though MST is good for the standard deck. And then if you realize you're going against a pendulum deck, then you could go and side these out for Spell Shattering Arrow or Wavering Eyes and whatnot. So that's why I keep these on there. Oh, and also it could definitely MST those stupid anti-magic spell fragrance cards. So yeah, I am also running one factory. So, you know, I already explained it with the combos with banishing your fusions and your Frightfur Fusions and your polys for those emergency fusion plays and whatnot. And we are also running one Raigeki and one Dark Hole. This is you want field control. Your basic monsters aren't exactly the strongest. You know, 1200, 100, 17, 1000. They're not exactly the strongest, so you want to go and clear the board for your fusions and whatnot. And we are also running one Mask Change 2. Now let me explain why I'm running this card. Let me move these out of the way right quick. So this one is because you are running one Darklaw and one Dian, because there are times when you are in an emergency, when you get a bad hand or something, and you definitely need like a big monster on board, because you know pendulum decks are fast, meta decks are really fast, so you want to go and keep up with them. So that's why you run Mask Change 2, Darklaw for shenanigans with your edge imps and whatnot, and Dian just in case you don't have any edge imps on board and you need a big monster, so you could go and do that. Cool thing with Mask Change 2, it requires you to discard one, so you could go and either discard a vendor, you could discard a wings, or you could discard a chain. And you could do crazy shenanigans, because these are great discard fodders. You're running 2 of him, 3 of him, and 3 of that. So, you know, you are bound to at least have one of these in your hand by the time you activate Mask Change 2. And if you don't, then you could always discard a Fluffal or something for fuel for this card, by the way. So yeah, Mask Change 2 is a good card. You could go and quickly go into some crazy shenanigans with that. Big beater, 28 3k, and you know, has one-sided Macrocosmos. Could really mess up those random decks you run into and whatnot. And yeah, that's why we're running Mask Change 2. So I believe that wraps up all of the spells. Yes, it does. Wraps up all the spells right there. And we are running 3 Punch in the Box. Now, before you guys say anything, going like, oh, what's that card? Why do you run that garbage? Let me explain this here. Reason why 3. You could go and run 2 if you want or what. But I love this card. If you check out my previous deck profile, I actually kept this at 3. I had it at 3 before, and I'm keeping it at 3 because, okay, let's say for argument's sake, this is a pendulum monster, okay? Let's say you're going against Odd Eyes or the Magicians or something. So they decide to go and bring out, let me put it this way. They bring out their pendulum guy, and they have like another monster, because when they pendulum, they tend to pendulum for like a crazy amount of monsters for field control, and you only have a one monster, or you have no monster. So what it does, let's say Darklaw attack, or I'm sorry, this pendulum monster attacks, and this other pendulum monster is just there. You know what? This one's a pendulum monster. This is a random monster, whichever, pendulum or not. You activate Punch in the Box. What it does, it requires them to go in here. Let me actually put it up for you to see. It actually it requires your opponents control 2 or more monsters. What happens is actually, it targets the attacking monster. Okay, so he attacks, you target him, negate the attack. You send one other monster. This one says select, it does not target, which means you could send the other monster, whatever it is, he's sent to grave, okay? His attack's negated, he loses his attack or defense, whichever's highest. And, yeah, so his attack's negated, he's permanently lowered. His attack's permanently lowered by whatever amount, whatever the other one is. And yeah, so now it could go and make it to where your Fluffals could go and beat over that random monster. And keep in mind, this is a pendulum monster. He's sent to grave. States sends to grave, which means they cannot reuse that pendulum monster. So that's why I love Punch in the Box. Actually, I'm always glad to see it. And with 3 of them, you could go and send their pendulum monsters to the grave, which means they're not going back to the extra deck. And yeah, this card, amazing in my opinion. I forever love this card. I used it ever since it came out in New Challengers. Great card. And yeah, aside from that card, we are also running 2 Fusion Reserves to recycle your polys and search for your bears and edge imp monsters for whenever you need them. And we are also running 2 chains. Why I'm running 2 chains is because you want to go and you want to slow down your opponent's deck. While your deck is going off, you want to go and slow down their deck just so you could go and generate some advantage and whatnot, and you want to stop their crazy shenanigans, whatever the heck they're doing, and whatnot. We are also running 1 March. Why 1 March? Because you want to go and, just in case they go and have one of those cards that, like Fiendish Chain or something, to go and stop your Tiger or whatever, you could go and activate that, bring out your Sabre-Tooth, bring back the Tiger you did, and then they have a dead Fiendish Chain or whatever they used to target it. You know, that random BA deck or something. And yeah. So it's pretty good. I actually like this. 1 of is fine. I don't think 2 is necessary. And yeah, we're also running Compulse and Bottomless. And yeah, that wraps up the main deck. And here's the extra deck. We are running 2 Sabre-Tooth. Why 2? Because one of them is for the March, just in case you go and use March, and then you have an extra one for whatever you want to do. One of them that you could go into. He's great because you could go and he helps swarm the field a bit. Great card, especially when you have him with Tiger. And we're running 1 Chimera. Reason being is because, you know, just in case you could go into him. Actually, I like to go and keep him there. We are running 2 Tigers. 3 of them if you want. 3's fine. I personally run 2 because I prefer to. There are times where I actually wished I had 3, but you know, he's not until he's less expensive. But yeah, I feel as though 2 Tigers fine. Running 1 Leo because, you know, Leo's actually a good card. He's Volcasaurus. You could go and blow up your opponent's monster just in case for some reason you spent all your Tigers or you just can't get over their monster. You know, and we are also running 2 Frightfur Sheep. And yeah, he keeps coming back. People always complain about this card. They go like, oh, he's too strong. I can't get over him. He's annoying. You know, he comes back and he's like Armades. You know, he's great. Saved me a few times. Oh, and by the way, he's Armades. He could go and if he destroys a monster by battle and the opponent's monster activates in grave immediately after being destroyed, he will negate that. There are people that actually questioned it, but it was confirmed that he actually does negate them if he destroys them by battle, and they activate in grave. You also run 1 Bear. You never ever go into Bear. He's just there for your Frightfur Fusion, so you could go and bring Bear to hand just in case you need Fluffal Bear in hand. Yeah, you never go into him other than that. He's just a Frightfur Fusion target. You also run 2 Wolves, just in case one of them gets negated. You have another one for that OTK. And I explained, that actually wraps up all the Frightfur Fusions. And I already explained these 2. Dian and Dark Law. And we run 1 Nightmare Shark since since we have the rank 4 for someone else, and you know your space in the extra deck is really tight. And yeah, he's just in case you could go and go for game with 2 Sabres. And this one is for Castel. He is just in case you have like 2 level 4s and you need to shuffle someone back into the deck. You know, problem monster and whatnot. And yeah, that wraps up the extra deck. Now for the side deck, I run 1 Spell Shattering Arrow. I would want to run more than 1, but I cannot. No one wants to trade them, and I don't spend $1 over any other card unless I'm buying it for a gift or for Christmas or something. So yeah, 1 Spell Shattering Arrow. 2 Wavering Eyes because it's cheap, easy to get. And I know not everyone has like a wallet, like nobody has deep pockets. Not too many people anyway. So, you know, you could go and use it to go and chain to the opponent's Wavering Eyes. Yeah, these cards right here, you want to chain to the opponent's Wavering Eyes, or if you just want to quickly destroy their Pendulum Zones. So yeah, the reason why you want to chain it to theirs is because you will destroy it before them, so you interrupt their plays and whatnot. And you get to deal extra 500 with this one. You also run, for Magic Spectres, you run 2 Poisonous Winds for the Magic Spectre matchups. Rivalry of the Warlords for Pepe. If you have another, this is actually really good because what happens is that it makes it to where both players can only control 1 type of monster. And thanks to you running a Fluffal deck, you could just fuse your monsters in your hand, so you don't technically need 2 types. You could go. It'll be difficult, but you could actually still play even though you can only control 1 type of monster on the field. So yeah, it's a good floodgate against Pepe. So yeah, keep that in mind. Curse Seal the Forbidden Spell because I actually needed to go and make it to where I could negate the Draco Slayer plays or whatever other problem scale monsters that are problem scales that you have to deal with. You could go and negate it. You could discard Toy Vendor with it. 1 Vanities, just in case that terrible matchup and you have no other cards that you could go and use against the rogue matchup or whatever. I know it'll actually be difficult because you actually special summon a lot, but you could always go and activate a spell or something like a Poly or a MST or Wavering Eyes or Spell Shattering Arrow or something to go make it to go to grave. Breakthrough Skill just in case your 2 Fiendish Chains are not enough. 1 Solemn just in case you just really, really want to go and stop their special summons. 2 Mind Drains for those Psy-Frames. I've yet to go and run into a Psy-Frame matchup, but just in case, you know, you want to win your matches. And 1 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for that random BA player, because people still play BAs, but, you know, keep in mind I was going to a locals. I wasn't going to any, like, YCS or regionals or something. And yeah, that wraps up the side deck. Yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me what you thought of the deck. I'm always open for advice and opinions and whatnot, as long as you're just not there just to go and give hate. So yeah, in the comment section below, please let me know what you think. And always remember, like and subscribe, guys. Stay awesome. Thanks.